Hi, my name is Kate. I'm also known as Two Little Kits. Welcome to my FlossTube. I have so many works in progress that I'm actually thinking I have too many works in progress pieces, which is saying a lot for me. If you have followed along, you know what I mean. I don't have any finished things to share, but I do have something super exciting that I've shared online already, but haven't shared here. So let's get started. So the first exciting thing is I have dipped my toes into selling merch. So merchandise and apparel. Right now I have 3 things that are available on my website, and this is one of them. I love it so much. I'm so excited. I received my sample piece just before the end of last year. It's so cozy and so warm and so fluffy, and the stitching, because this is done with machine embroidery, so it's actually like, you can hear it. It's actually thread, which I think makes it even cooler. It looks super cool. It looks exactly what I had hoped for, basically. It washed up really nicely. It didn't shrink or anything like that. But these are available on my website. There's 4 colors. This is the charcoal color. There's also black, navy, and gray. The gray is like a really subtle stitching on the front because it's also done in white on the gray version. This is available. Go get it on my website. I also am wearing this. As you can see, I have my logo on a t-shirt. I'm like so excited. I've always wanted to have a piece of clothing with my logo on it. So I made this up just for me to be able to have. I'm not planning on listing this at all, although my mum does want one too, so thanks Mum. This is also something that I could list if people were interested. It wouldn't be too much work for me to add it onto my website. So let me know in the comments if you would like a Two Little Kits t-shirt. This is also done with machine embroidery. I'll get up close to the camera so you can see my boob. So you can see it's stitched with black and white, and it's just got a little logo. And I'm probably really loud because I'm close to the camera. I did get sidetracked just for a second. I did get a cool microphone for Christmas from my mum, and I keep forgetting to use it, so that's cool. Go me. Can you actually see this cable? You can. Just ignore that. Pretend that's not there. Anyway, the other 2 things that you can get that is merch is a mug, a ceramic mug with the same wording on it, and a black tote bag, which I probably don't need more totes, but I think I'm gonna get one because, yeah, I have a lot of totes though, but I use them a lot. Anyway, so they're all available on my website. I promise you there won't be cat hair with your version. My cats are molting right now, so there's lots of cat hair on it. So that's what I'm excited about right now. I've been working on that for about a month now. Most of it has been kind of psyching myself up to do it. I'll be quite honest. It was the very vague thing that I was talking about in my last FlossTube, but it's here, it's live as of Friday. The tangent, I guess, and to explain before I go into the tangent, is the other thing that I have launched in this past fortnight is a complete overhaul of my membership that's available on Ko-fi. If you don't know what I mean, you can actually read about it on my website. I wrote a big long blog about explaining all the things that you could expect if you sign up for one of the membership tiers. But basically there is 3 tiers of payment which unlock like certain things. And the more you pay, the more you unlock, as you would expect. That's live as well on Ko-fi, which is connected up to my website-ish. I need to do a bit more connecting, if that makes sense. That one I'm nervous about. That one I'm not sure if people are going to be interested in, and I'm like worried that I've spent time on something that's not going to net me any benefits. If you do sign up, the cool thing is you, depending on which tier, again, you sign up for, you'll get a discount code. Not a code. You'll get a discount available to you. There's no code. Just you need to be logged in. For all of my patterns and all of my merch. You have to buy everything through Ko-fi, but it's all the same prices. You get to save money. So it's super worth it, in my opinion. Like, you'd save more. You would actually save money to buy a membership and buy one of the merch pieces. Just saying. So that's exciting. So they're the two things that I've been working on lately. They're the two things that have launched within the last week. Go check it out. Go check out my website and my Ko-fi. And if you do order one of these especially, let me know, please. Let me know when it arrives. Take a picture for me. Send it to me. Do all those cool things, because I'm nervous. I've had a couple of orders of the jumpers, which is super cool. Anyway, let's move on to some actual stitchy things. So as I said in the intro, I don't have any finished pieces, but I feel like that's not a big deal because I had like 4 finished pieces last fortnight. But I've got lots of work in progress. So first we're actually going to start with cross stitch work in progress. So I shared this piece, it's huge, last FlossTube, and it actually has some more work done on it. Not a lot, but this is, oh my gosh, I can't remember what it's called. Hang on. Okay, this is called Enchanted Forest Map. It's by Flossy Fox Shop, who I'm becoming like fangirl of, I guess. She's the pattern designer who did the blackwork foxes that I finished. I like her style, I guess. This is the next pattern that I started, and I've been continuing to work on the black. There's not too much more black to go, and this one is going to be a slow piece for me. As you can see, I've had to move the hoop. It was up here, but it's a big piece. And yeah, there's no rush on this at all. It is just a piece that I guess I was kind of working on until the next work in progress that I'll share, which is this. It's not that great right now. Is it even up the right way? Yes. And this one is going to be huge as well. So this is another Flossy Fox Shop pattern. This is her current stitch along, which I also can't remember what that one's called. That's embarrassing. Hold on. Okay, it's called Farming Magic Stitch Along. Right now I have some bits of flowers and a fairy, part of a fairy, like think of Zelda fairy thingy. I don't know what it's called, but that's the circle of the body of it. Yeah, she released part 1 early. She released it on Thursday, this past Thursday on the 5th. She was going to do it on the 6th, but yeah, she couldn't wait any longer, so she released it a day early. And this, I get the impression, is going to be released every month. And right now it's like this little section here, which has a cow and as she's put it, a dragon pig. So that'll be interesting, but it's got lots of flowers, and it's going to slowly grow from this corner up to this corner, from what she's explained. So that'll be cool, and that should be finished in August. So you'll probably see a lot of this one over the next year, but that's that work in progress. Let me just reorganize because my desk was already a mess before I took out all of my works in progress. So there's those two. The next one is Pretty Little LA, which I already tightened in my hoop, as you may have questioned. Why didn't you tighten it? You always tighten it. But look, I've got sand now and tree trunks. Yay! And I'm currently working on this dark bit down here, filling in some windows, it looks like. But this one's coming along. I'm definitely not going to finish it at the same time as I finished the Sydney one this time last year, because this one still has quite a bit to go. And I honestly have other things that I should be working on. But there's this, which is cool, but I'm getting through all the colors, and it is coming to a close. There isn't too many more colors. I think there's like 6 more colors to go after this one. That's a guess. But it'll be cool to have this and the Sydney one finished, which I haven't mounted. I will go into that later. So that is that one. The last cross stitch piece is actually a commission. It's a Stitch People portrait. It's, as you can see, a wedding one. There's going to be another dog here. I haven't worked on it yet because the chest area of the dog is a mixture of colors, and I haven't put together that mixture of colors yet, so I haven't started the dog yet. But this, yeah, is happening. I gotta get this one done. I should have it finished for the next FlossTube, basically. Hopefully, just because I don't know what timing would be, I might actually be able to show it in person as a finished piece, but it might already be in the mail by then, I'm not sure. So that one's coming along, and obviously this is all satin stitched, which is so lovely to pat. And I'm trying something new with the tucks, so it looks really wonky right now, but it'll look better once I've finished it. So that is cross stitch works in progress. For embroidery works in progress, I have 2 things. One of them you may remember from last FlossTube, which I've done a little bit more work on. It's this unnamed pattern that I'm working on, which I'm still umming and ahhing about this lavender sprig, which will be the same thing here. I started working on this one over here. As you can see, I've got purple on my needle. I'm also still trying to work out how I want to make the pink flowers here and here and here bigger, or if I want to do more of the cast on stitches that are being used with a straw or not. And I'm leaning towards not doing that, so it's just going to be a lot of cast on stitches, but I think they'll look pretty. There's an area that I misdrew, so I'm trying to figure out how I want to fill that in. There's this part up here. I don't want to do 2 lavender sprigs right next to each other, so I'll figure something out. I might end up cutting out that whip stitch, but we'll see how it goes. So that is coming along nicely. I still really like the colors that I've chosen. It's got a bit of fluff on it for this piece, and hopefully you guys love it too. So there's that one. And the other work in progress I have for embroidery is this. This is a future merchandise thing that I'm currently working on. This is going to be little teensy necklaces, which I'm also nervous about. But I have these little circles, I don't know, but I got these with the little holes for a chain, and then I've got so many of these sterling silver chains, stainless steel, sorry. I also have another necklace thing that I will be doing at the same time. There'll be 2 specific types of necklaces. There'll be these ones and the other one that I haven't started yet, and they'll all be released together. They'll have their own variations as well. I'm nervous. I'm trying. I told myself that 2023 was going to be a year of trying things and a year of being uncomfortable, I guess. And I'm having trouble being uncomfortable and stepping out of my comfort zone and giving things a try and believing in myself, I guess. So yeah, it's hard, not easy. I do have another design that I'm working on for merch and apparel that I'm trying to figure out, basically, and that one will probably happen after these necklaces. I do have t-shirts planned of the stitch repeat design that you saw on the jumper, because I know that it's not cold for everyone right now, especially one of my friends who's like, I want to order something, but we live in Hawaii. So that's, yeah, not really great for her. She doesn't want a thick fleecy jumper. So I always had planned on making t-shirts next as, yeah, the next thing to launch. I'm rambling a lot today. Anyway, what else has happened? I feel like I should have a lot to talk about, but I feel like that's kind of majority of it. I guess one thing that I can talk about is I received my gift from my group of friends, my stitchy friends, the Hawaii piece that I shared. Did I even share that? Yeah, I did talk about it. Anyway, this is the piece that I received. This was from Raspberry, I hate trying to say that word, Raspberry Jean Stitches. She did my house, which is just super cute. I love it so much. Here's the back. Oop. It's got a little thing that I can hang it up if I want to. But it's just so precious. Oop. It's got cat hair on it. Of course it's got cat hair on it. Everything in this house has cat hair on it. But that's the house. And she made me this cute little bag because she knows that I love the TV show Bluey. It's still got its stuffing on the inside. Let me take that out. So it's just this little pouch. I think these came from Target. I know in one of my stitchy groups, Facebook groups, it was talked about a lot. It's very clever, and it's a very apt thing for me to be reminded about. So I got that, and I got some chocolates, which I haven't started eating actually. So that's good. But yeah, thank you to Jen. I very much appreciate my gifts. So coming up in the next fortnight, I guess, I do have a cross stitch pattern that is pretty much ready to go. And as you may have realized or noticed from last year, I was trying my best, aside from the Christmas period, to release a pattern on the Monday that I don't release a FlossTube. So it'll be next Monday that you'll get this new pattern. It's gonna be the first in a series of like designed patterns that should all be able to do well together. Like if you were to stitch them all and put them all up on a wall together, they're a series. That's the word I'm trying to think of. Right now I have 3 designs sorted for this series and hoping to get at least 2 more, which would be awesome. I just got to think of what they should say, basically. But that'll be exciting. I got one of my test stitchers to do it up, and she's just sent through some photos of the finished piece. So I've just got to, set up the PDF, set it up on Gumroad, set it up on my website, and then set it up on social media, basically. There's a lot of steps. I know I could probably make things easier for myself if I was willing to spend money, such as if I had a Shopify website, for example. I'm not willing to invest that kind of money and spend so much time on something like that when I can do it myself, but it just takes longer. I'm stubborn. Oh well. But yeah, there's no getting around a lot of preparation that needs to be done. It's not just making a pattern, stitching it, and then posting about it. There's a lot of work that goes into releasing something new. So that's why I didn't do t-shirts to begin with for this, because 3 things at once was what I felt like I could manage. So maybe that explains why they're obviously a bit different. Oh, it's got a big fluff on it. They're obviously a bit different because I don't have to make a pattern to then sell that pattern. I just needed to make sure that it was all set up correctly, and I hope it is. I'll find out soon. I think actually next week I'll find out whether everything went smoothly, because I did give a sneak peek of this to the group of stitchy friends that I was just talking about with the gift exchange, and 2 of those ladies ordered their own jumper, which I'm like all warm fuzzies about, I guess, and they are receiving theirs next week. it's got so much fluff on it. I just keep trying to pick off all the fluff. I'm sorry. I'm getting myself distracted. I'm gonna be hassling them and making sure that things went through smoothly and asking about quality and all of that. Fingers crossed. I'm not nervous. What are you talking about? I'm not anxious. So anyway, what I was talking about was a new pattern is coming up. That'll be exciting. I have the second in that series sorted, I think. It's at least super close to being finished, designed. And so Jessica will be stitching that as well, so that she the plan is that she's going to be doing that series so that she can then photograph all of them together, basically. I do have my other 2 test stitches working on stuff that's already been released, and there's another pattern that is finished that I'll be sending off to one of them once they're done with the other stuff, basically. And there's things going on, and I'm trying to get these embroidery patterns, this one mostly. I need to focus on this and this, basically. These are the 2 pieces that I gotta knuckle down on and stop stitching my own things. Because I wanna get back into embroidery patterns as pieces as well. But I did tell myself as well that 2023 would be me getting back into embroidery patterns and figuring out a way that I want to actually list them. That's the other thing. Anyway, so moving on to IRL stuff. What's happened? My kids went back to school. This is the first FlossTube of 2023. I forgot to even point that out. That's pretty cool. One of my doctors reckons that I had a crazy, weird virus that could have been mutated from having had COVID, because I wasn't sick in any way, but every single day at around the same time, and I talked about this on Instagram, for a little over a week, I was getting crazy headaches. Some days they were basically a migraine, and at like 4:30 I would just be totally useless and in quite a lot of pain. So that was fun. Not, but they're all gone now. I thought it was actually a new medication that I was taking. It turns out it wasn't. I thought the medication was actually making me dehydrated. So I was like chugging water, basically just, if I wasn't talking, I was drinking water. I also started drinking those sports drinks, like with electrolytes in it, and I was sucking on Pedalite, Icy Poles, just because I thought I was so dehydrated, and it wasn't. But I was so glad shortly after the new year that I just didn't have a headache one day. I didn't start feeling it creep on at 2:30 and then manifest into something awful by 4:30. So that was fun. I spent the New Year's going to bed at like 9:30 because I was just in pain. But I've never really been one for doing crazy stuff on New Year's, even before kids. I'm pretty boring, what can I say? I mean, I do this, like I'm not a crazy party animal or anything like that. What else has happened? I went to the foot doctor and had my checkup after 6 weeks, I think it was. And the x-rays show that everything looks great, which is so good, so good. I've been thinking about what he said regarding why it still hurts though. And it's likely 2 things. It's not actually because there's a problem necessarily. It's because it's super, super stiff and sore. I haven't been able to go for a regular walk like you would for an exercise. I haven't been doing any running like I was at martial arts. I've been pretty sedentary, and so it's just really stiff from that. The other thing is I got a really big keloid scar from the first surgery. So it runs, if this is my foot, it runs all the way down my toe, well, like curves, and then runs all the way down my toe to like that far past the bit that bends here of your toe. Hopefully that makes sense. So it's this really long scar, and probably 80 to 90% of it has turned into a big keloid scar. So it's taking forever to heal, and while it's healing, it's actually pulling my skin to try and close it up properly, because part of the other thing is he suspects that the screw that I've still got in my foot is, because that's in the joint, this joint bit here, he suspects the screw is really close to the skin, and because right at that point is where I'm having most of the issues, where it's just not healing properly. So it's pulling the skin, and so it's pulling my toe up, and it's not being very nice, basically. Yeah, he suspects that once the scar has settled down, that things will be a lot better. I've got to do some physical therapy for about a month, which I only got 2 days ago, the prescription for it, so I haven't been able to find anywhere that'll take me just yet, but I'll be getting on that as soon as I can, because I want to go back to normal. It's been well over a year. It's been a year and 2 and a bit months of this now, and I'm just so tired of it. Anyway, and I think that's pretty much everything that's happened. Please leave a comment below about any of the things that I've talked about. I'm nervous, I'm anxious, I'm all the things. I'm all the feels. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you do get any of the merch. I appreciate you being here, and Happy New Year, and I'll see you around the internet. Bye!